Player Talk Radio
Hey, yeah.
with DJ Kuda, the hottest DJ in the Manosphere. Let's get it.
What's going on, y'all? It's Player Talk Radio. Is DJ Kuda right back at the helm of today's show. Got a great show for you guys tonight. What's going on? I am the Manosphere Mic guy. It's DJ Kuda right back at the helm of today's show. Got a great show for you guys tonight. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about microphones and we're going to be talking about tech. So I am your engineer for tonight. And got a great show for you guys tonight. So let's get straight into it. So what's going on with y'all, man? It's Player Talk Radio. We are in the building on tonight's show. We're going to be talking about tech and microphones. Welcome to the Manosphere Mic Show, episode number 1. Wow, episode number 1. This is cool. Okay, so we're here for basically Manosphere Mic Talk. This show is basically, especially geared for the guys in the Manosphere, basically to talk about microphones and basically to give y'all the information and the scoop on how to start your podcast and how to get a lot of the things that you want done when it comes down to audio, starting your podcast, running your podcast, and everything. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things, and I'm going to be breaking down the game and giving you guys basically the ism on how to do some of the things that you want to do when it pertains to you starting your own show, you running your podcast, and things like that. So without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. So a lot of times guys will ask, okay, Kuda, you be having mics in your background, like this mic right here. What type of mic is that? This mic right here, this is the King B microphone, okay? One of my favorite microphones. It's a condenser microphone, really good for vocals, really good for a lot of different things. But we're not talking about that mic. That mic is just for show. And it looks good with the blue. So, what I want to talk to you guys about on tonight's show is basically you getting the ball rolling on your podcast and what you want to do. So, on episode number 1, what we're going to be talking about is basically the microphone I would like you guys to get, and basically what you need to be doing and where your head should be at when it comes down to starting your podcast and, rolling the ball and getting your business started. Because basically you're running a business, and you have to understand that as a content creator, you're broadcasting. And this is not a bad thing, but it can be weight on your shoulders, most definitely. So this is my first time using a lavalier mic. I don't know how I sound, but fuck it. We sound good all the time. It's Player Talk Radio. Now, check this out. I want you to erase everything that you believe that you know, or if you know a lot, I want you to add what I'm going to say on to what you know. Basically, what you want to do is you want to prioritize your sound. I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds crazy, but this is some real shit. You want to prioritize your sound. What you want to do is you want to make sure your sound is basically great and your sound is top notch, okay? Now, a lot of times when you guys, podcast, you guys are using your phone, and you don't want to use your phone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times your phone is the best piece of tech that you have, but you want to upgrade your sound. When you're doing your podcast, you want to make sure your sound is on point and that your sound is damn near the best thing on your show. Whether you're playing music, whether you're talking, and just no matter what you do, you want to have great sound. People will tolerate choppy video a little bit or less video resolution. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click in your description. I think you have a gear, and up the resolution on this video. You will see that that the video is actually pretty good resolution. I think I go up to 720. You might get about 1080 or maybe 4K. I don't know. I'm shooting in 4K. But what I'm saying is that people will listen. They will look at fucked up video, but what they won't do is they will not listen to fucked up sound. So that's gem number one. You want to make sure your sound is on point. You want to make sure everything is on point. You don't want to really focus on your visuals just yet in the game. You want to learn sound first, because what you can basically do is get your avatar and you can just slap your avatar onto it and just have your sound playing. Remember, you're recording a podcast, not a music video or take video out of your head right now. What you really want to do is you want to focus on your sound. So that's gem number one. Also, if you're starting your podcast, what I want to let you guys know is that I always recommend you guys use a plug and play mic. Now, when it comes down for you guys understanding sound and how sound works, a lot of people, they use what's called a plug and play mic. Now, if you know me and if you are familiar with me from the Manosphere, you know that I do like plug and play mics, but in a way I despise them. But they all have their their time, and they all have their place. If you're traveling, I would recommend a plug and play mic, because it might be a lot to lug around a laptop, and it might be a lot to lug around an interface in a whole broadcasting studio. As a matter of fact, I don't down plug and play mics. I do, but I don't. There's a lot of great ones that I will show or probably have in the description below. One of the plug and play mics that I recommend to a lot of people, they got some Samsung ones, but the one that I recommend is the HyperX Quadcast. Really great microphone, plug and play. I rather it more than the Yeti. Okay, so let's talk about the Yeti. A lot of people like the Yeti, and the Yeti is terrible. I like the Yeti, but then again, I don't like the Yeti. But then again, the Yeti's a great microphone. It has a practical use. You can use it with a lot of different things. But I got a better solution for you on tonight's show. So, a lot of times the microphones that I would recommend is a basic plug and play. If you're new to sound, a plug and play microphone will be the best thing for you. Now, and I got it wrapped up. This right here is the Snowball. Okay? This is an okay microphone. You've probably seen a bunch of people use it here in the Manosphere, like LAR Movement, but he upgraded to a Blue Yeti. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to have to take a drink to that. Okay? Now, this right here, and I got it wrapped up because I like to keep my mics together. This is a Blue Snowball. Now, this is a great microphone. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're getting started and you want a burner mic and you don't know anything about mics and sounds, I would recommend you get this microphone. And the reason why I would recommend you get this microphone is because you don't know shit about sound. So this is a plug and play microphone. What I mean by plug and play microphone is that you can literally plug this into your USB port. And when you plug this into your USB port, a lot of times your computer, you don't really have to download software, but the microphone on your computer will literally switch over to this microphone, and you get to talking to it. And this little red light right here at the top, it comes on, and you can do a lot with this microphone. And maybe a plug and play microphone is good for you because you're new to the world of podcasting, and you don't want to get too much equipment and not really know exactly what you're doing. So this might be the solution for you. Now, one of the most famous microphones that Blue makes, oh Lord have mercy, is this microphone right here. This is the Blue Yeti. It looks like a penis. It's a great microphone. Look, it has a little stand, which the Blue microphone, the Snowball I'm showing, has a stand, and a lot of people think that it's an upgrade from and I mean, some people it could be an upgrade. This is actually pretty good microphone, even though I talk down about it. But these are two good plug and play mics that's on the market. Or what you really want to use is you want to get your hands on a HyperX Quadcast. I really like that microphone. I recommend that microphone. Go get the HyperX Quadcast. I should have had a picture of it, but I don't have a picture of it right now. But I will put I'll probably put a link down in the description. Just hit me up and let me know. But the HyperX Quadcast does everything this microphone does. Now, there's nothing too different about these microphones, being that they're plug and play microphones, but there is, let me put my lavalier a little bit closer to my mouth. There is a big difference when it comes down to these microphones. Okay? So while this is just a regular plug and play microphone, you can literally plug this in and you'll get the standard sound that comes from this. If you want to have it sound better, we'll go into more technical things that you can do, like downloading Voice Meter, and you can get a broadcasting sound, just like how I'm getting a broadcasting sound out of this lavalier mic, because I have processing on my voice. That's another story. Now, this has its own sound, so you're just going to get raw sound with this one. This Blue Yeti, the reason why a lot of people like it, and the Quadcast has the exact same features, is that this has, it has a nice volume button right here. You can turn your volume up and down. You can plug your headphones in. See, this is the USB, and this is the headphone jack. So you can literally plug your headphones in and hear how you sound. Now, this is a plug and play microphone, like I said. So you can plug in your USB and plug it into your computer. Also, you have a mute button. One thing I don't like about this microphone, and they actually have a Blue Yeti X, which is supposed to be a little bit more upper tier. Maybe we might get our hands on one and might do it because we're going to be doing a lot of microphone shows. Is this button right here. This mute button. You hear it? It makes this noise. So you can hear when somebody comes on and off of mute. And it will show up in your recordings. Also, you have a gain button right here, and you have a polar pattern right here. Now, this Blue Yeti, to give you guys an introduction on sound, this is a cardioid patterned mic. It has like a heart pattern, which I'll be showing you guys, what it is a little bit later on in these Manosphere microphone shows. And this is a condenser plug and play microphone, whereas this one right here, this is a condenser mic, this King B, but it's an XLR mic in comparison to a plug and play mic. Everything that you need sound wise is built into this microphone, so you don't need what you would need to run this microphone on this microphone, which is interface. So we'll get into that later. But we're talking about plug and play microphones. So there's two types of microphones. You have a plug and play, and you have an XLR. XLRs are a lot different. They have a cable where, you run, your, well, I guess you guys can see that. There's 3 holes right there. And basically, XLR microphones are the route I would like you guys to go. But if you're getting into sound, it might be a little bit hard for you to understand exactly what you're doing. So we're going to talk a little bit about a plug and play microphone, and then I'm going to show you guys a really great XLR microphone for the price, actually less than both of these microphones. Maybe as much as that one, but we're going to get into it. So this microphone has a pattern. Now, one actually really good use that I've seen people actually use this microphone for is a shotgun mic. Because condenser microphones, they're good for singing, they're good for vocals, they're good for a lot of different things. The only bad thing about condenser microphones is that they pick up everything. They pick up every goddamn thing that you can think of. So what you would have to have is a sound treated room, because you'll pick up a lot of reverb and things like that. That's why microphones like this Blue Yeti comes with like a gain button and different types of buttons on it, so you can configure the sound, and it gives you a little bit more. It gives you a little bit more control over the sound than the Snowball, even though they say technically the Yeti and the Snowball are the same thing. It's just this Yeti is more versatile than the Snowball. Now, these cardioid patterns, what a lot of people like to do, they like to use it for ASMR. They can do a bunch of things. But I think the best thing that I've actually seen this microphone be used for is a shotgun mic. Being that it's a condenser microphone, you can actually get it out of frame. Shotgun mics are basically microphones that are out of frame. How it seems like I have great vocals and I'm talking right now, and this is my first time using this lavalier mic, is because it's on me. But you have microphones that are used for different applications. Like, you wouldn't use this lavalier mic for voiceover or voice recording, but I'm using it right now to speak to you guys because I don't really feel like having a microphone in front of me because I'm displaying a microphone. So there's different applications for different types of microphones. And I've seen this used as a shotgun mic, which is like a microphone that's out of the frame, but can really pick up your voice. And I've seen people tune their Yetis to actually get really great sound out of them. Now, would I recommend this? If you're starting off, yes. Now, if this is what you're gonna do as a full-time thing or for an extended amount of time, no. Problem is, though, you have a lot of people in the Manosphere that love to use this goddamn microphone, and I'm tired of it. To tell you the truth, personally, I'm tired of it. They don't give a fuck about you. Now, some do. I got some comrades that use this microphone, and they use it good. They're cool. But there's a lot of other people that use this microphone. It's terrible. We have a saying, the most bullshit that has been ever said online or on the internet or in the Manosphere has been said into one of these. Let's get it. So this cardioid pattern, which is right here, you'll see there's 4 cardioid patterns. You have an all-around pattern, which means that if I'm talking to this mic, it'll capture my voice all around. Then you have the cardioid pattern where I have to speak into the front of this mic. It cancels noise right here on the side, cancels noise in the back, and cancels noise on this side, and only has the pattern coming towards me, right? Then you have a double way where it cancels the noise on the side, and it goes bi-directional. So if I'm interviewing somebody, I would set this down and have a bi-directional interview, which is actually pretty cool because then now you don't have to have 2 microphones. You can literally sit this there and you can probably get some really good vocals out of it. So it all depends on what you're trying to do. This can be very useful. I've seen some great applications of this microphone, but overall, this microphone is a toy. And a lot of times, too, you have to tweak it because a lot of people don't know how to use this microphone correctly. And that's a big thing. You need to learn how to use this microphone correctly, or you just need to learn how to tweak your sound. So, in the case that you can't afford a lot of equipment, this will be a good look for you. But use it to learn. Use this microphone as a stepping stone, and don't get too far caught up into it, because it's not a great microphone to use as your daily driver. You can, and it is a workhorse. I wouldn't recommend it though. Now, I'm the Manosphere Mic guy. What microphone would I recommend you to use? This King B is pretty good. But the microphone we're going to be talking about on tonight's show is a mic that I like. And I like it a lot. Now, this mic could be very tricky to get your hands on. What microphone am I talking about? I'm talking about this baby right here. I was going to point to the wrong side. This baby right here is called the Rode Pod mic. Okay? Really, really, really cool microphone. Now, when I talk about microphones, we're talking about broadcasting. Because literally what you're doing is broadcasting. I want you to have the right mindset going into podcasting. And I want you to skip all the bullshit, which is why I do not want you guys to stay in your Yeti phase for a long fucking time. You do not want to be in your Yeti phase for a long time. You definitely want to upgrade as soon as possible. And the way you can upgrade as soon as possible is definitely jumping into a mic like this. Now, the reason why I recommend this mic is because it's advanced, and at the same time, it's a great mic. Now, let's get into the game. Dynamic mics are different. See, condenser mics, which is like this King B right here, and the Yeti that I showed, we're talking about three different mics now. Now, that Yeti that I showed, or the blue snowball that I showed, those are condenser microphones, but those are USB condenser microphones. Those are plug and play. So you will get, hold on, y'all, get a little feedback, okay. You will get a great sound from a condenser microphone, but it is better that you have a sound treated room so that you won't pick up everything, because a lot of you guys, we're not in the best. Sometimes you're recording from home, you're not in the studio, and we're not in the best neighborhood. Sometimes you live in a noisy neighborhood. Some of y'all niggas live under a bridge. Some of y'all are doing a whole bunch of stuff. But I am the Manosphere Mic guy. I'm going to tell you what's going on. When you use a condenser mic, sometimes you hear horns honking, people walking around in your house, babies crying in the background, all kinds of shit. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you pick the right type of microphone. These condenser mics, they use what's called phantom power, whereas the broadcasting mic doesn't use phantom power. And also, the broadcasting mic, it has a sound cancellation thing on it, whereas this mic will pick up every single thing. This mic won't pick up every single thing that's going on in your house. And a lot of times you want to record on the fly without having to edit, because editing, that's a whole nother story. We're going to keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So what I'm saying is that I recommend broadcasting microphones. I recommend broadcasting microphones instead of condenser microphones. You want a broadcasting microphone because you might be traveling and you might not be in a place where the sound is that great, but you can sound great in comparison to what you want to do. Plus, broadcasting microphones are workhorses, and also you don't have to run these microphones with phantom power. And if you do have to run it with phantom power, you don't have to run your preamp as much as you would using a condenser microphone. Also, you do have the nature of different type of mics. Now, this Rode Pod mic, which I have right here, is a great microphone. It's very hard to get your hands on one right now. You might have to wait a while, but this is a very great microphone. It is very beautiful. It has an internal pop filter, and it's very heavy. And when you're starting your podcast, this is the microphone that I recommend for you. Now, the reason why I recommend this microphone is the price point. You get a hell of a microphone for the price. Now, these microphones, reason why it's sold out, by the way. These microphones cost about $100. And you want to get your hands on them because I think the price is going up, because you're getting a hell of a microphone for less the price, man. Man, if you really want to, less is more nowadays. If you really want to have great sound, if you're shopping for an interface, $200 is your sweet spot. Microphones, $200 is your sweet spot. But for this, for $100, oh yeah, you're getting a hell of a microphone. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I recommend this because this is a plug and play mic. All you do is you plug it and you play it. So you want to get your XLR, and this is this is not a USB microphone. This is an XLR microphone. You get your XLR cable and you take it and you plug it into the back of this microphone. If I can figure out how to do that, here we go. And you plug it and you're ready to go. And some interfaces, they come with a pre processing to run this microphone. But we'll talk about that. So this is what you get in the box, which is basically the microphone. It has the grill is very sturdy. You could kill somebody. This is how heavy this shit is. You want to get a nice boom arm, or you want to get a nice stand, because this is heavy, and you don't want, this will bully your boom arm if it's not nice. If you get a cheap $15 boom arm, good luck. You probably can drop this motherfucker. I wouldn't, but you know what I'm saying. But these microphones are really good. This microphone actually got me into the side grills. I like the side grills. This is a beautiful microphone. This microphone is built for podcasting. Now, the reason why I tell you guys to go out and go get this microphone is because of what it was created for. Number one, you're podcasting. Number two, you're broadcasting. Number three, you're worried about your sound, okay? You want to have a broadcasting sound, and this sound is a sound that people are used to. And when you have this broadcasting sound, it makes your sound a lot better with minimum effort, and you don't have to do that much to... Maybe I should have put this on my collar. You don't want to have to do too much to have a great sound, okay? And this will definitely help you, especially on your vocals. Now, the reason why Rode created this microphone, which is beautiful, and look, it looked just like the picture right here. Now, the reason why Rode created this microphone is to definitely help a podcaster. definitely be able for you to get about 4 of these mics in comparison to some of these higher end broadcasting mics. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's say you really want to get into podcasting and you really want to find a great microphone and you don't have that much money, or your budget is you have a budget and you really don't know nothing about sound. This is a great mic to start off with, especially getting into the world of XLR mics. You just take it, get your preamp or your interface, and you plug it and you play it. Really great. Don't have to tweak it, don't have to do too much with it. And the cool thing about these microphones is you want to talk into the top of it, because you can't talk into the sides of it because it's noise cancellation. Now, other microphones like the Electro Voices, they have something called Vario D technology. We'll talk about that later. And they have the side grill, and that is to cancel out sound that is not coming from the sides of the microphone or behind it. So when you have these dynamic mics, you want to point behind it to like your computer or your PlayStation or whatever you're doing, because it's great for gaming also. And it's very user friendly. They put a lot of technology into this microphone. This is why I'm telling you guys to go get it. It is a bang for your buck. Now you have other microphones that are industry standards, standard microphones, and those are some of my favorite microphones also. I'm not telling you to be cheap with your sound. You get what you pay for, especially with your interface or your mixer or whatever you choose. So what you want to do, you want to get this Rode Pod mic. Now, Rode created this microphone because, of course, other companies create microphones, and their microphones, they cost a lot of money. Rode created this microphone to basically go against a lot of their competitors. This microphone was created to compete with another microphone company and another microphone specifically, even though it has one purpose, which is for podcasting, voiceover, basically to get a great voice and a broadcasting sound, because it is a broadcasting microphone. It was meant to compete with the Shure SM7B. Now, this microphone is $100. The Shure SM7B is about $400 to $450. And the thing about the Shure microphone is that you can use it for a lot of different things, but a lot of people use it for podcasting. But then again, a lot of people, they use it for music. So it's a very versatile microphone. This I wouldn't use for music. I would not use for music. But if you're broadcasting, you're podcasting, this is perfect. You want to keep it simple. Now, what is the Shure SM7B? Thank you for asking. I got one right here. This is the Shure, and my bad, my radio flyer. This is the Shure SM7B. Really beautiful microphone. It is my daily driver. You can do a lot with this microphone. This Rode Pod mic is my daily driver also. Really gorgeous microphone. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite microphones. And I have a story behind, acquiring these, if you guys know who I am. So this microphone has a similar cardioid pattern for this microphone when it comes down to broadcasting. So if you would like to get a $400-something sound for for way less of the price, get one of these, a quarter of the price. Rode's idea was to say, okay, you can get 4 of these and fund your whole podcasting studio for the price of one of these. Real clever on Rode's behalf. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna plug up this Rode and I'm gonna talk into it, and I'm gonna show you what type of sound that you can get from this Rode Pod mic, and then we're going to close out. So make sure, if you guys want to start your studio and you want to have a great mic for podcasting, you get the Rode Pod mic. Now, when you're ready to start talking about $400 microphones, we're going to be here for you too. Now, if I had to start a podcast and I needed a microphone, I would get the Rode first. Do I like the Shure SM7B, and does it have its own purpose and use for things? Yes, it does. But I will get the Rode first. Now, this SM7B in particular, you can buy the microphone by itself, but I wouldn't recommend you buy the microphone by itself because and I'll turn off this lavalier mic and I'll turn on, well, actually I'll turn it on soon. When you have a dynamic mic such as this Rode right here, this is the reason why I'm telling you this not the Rode, this Shure SM7B, my bad. It's better to get the Rode because when you have a dynamic mic like this Shure SM7B, it's gain hungry. And in the case of running the Shure SM7B, you will have to have a strong preamp. And if you don't have a strong preamp to power this microphone, you will get a hissing noise in the background. And the reason why you will get a hissing noise in the background is because this is a gain hungry mic. Okay? So with a microphone, you damn near have two volume levels. You have your gain and you have your actual volume. And this is a gain hungry mic. You can yell into it. It's good for singing. It's good for a lot of different things. Really beautiful microphone. So, you will have to get something else to run this microphone, which is called a cloud lifter, or you can get a FET head, or you can get what's called a dynamite. And what that does is it puts more gain onto it. It puts more decibels onto it, so you don't have to run your preamp as hot. You don't want to run your preamp on your interface very high because the thing is that one, your unit will get warm. Two, this microphone would take all the gain that thing needs. So if you look at the dynamite, which I have right here, cause the cloud lifter, they run about like 150. A CL cloud lifter can run about 150, and so can a FET head. But you got little solutions to it, like this dynamite right here. That and don't travel with this. We'll go over these too. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You don't want to run, and I wonder how this will sound with the pod mic, even though I don't need it. But you don't want to just run this microphone because you risk your audio or having that hissing noise in the background because you don't have a strong enough preamp. Remember, the microphones that we're dealing with are the microphones that they actually use in a radio station. So they have the equipment from that. But we're recording at home. But at the same time, you have a professional studio. I'm teaching you how to have a professional studio. You want to be ahead of everybody when it comes to sound, and you already want to have the shit that you need to have before you even become successful. You understand what I'm saying? And you want to be very familiar with things that warrant success. Successful people are around these mics all the fucking time. Thank you. Get a head start. So, what you want to do is you want to take this dynamite and you want to plug it into the microphone. And basically what it does is it lets your preamp breathe. You don't have to run your preamp as hot because this is all the preamp that you need. And what it does is it boosts the signal of the microphone and gives your microphone more range, and it allows your microphone to perform the way you would like your mic to perform when it comes down to sound. One thing that we like to talk about in the world of sound is the noise floor. And what I mean by the noise floor, so remember when I was telling you about the condenser microphones, how they pick up everything in the background, and it just picks up everything. A lot of times, if you don't have a sound treated room, it's hard to have a zero noise floor. What I mean by a zero noise floor is that when you go quiet, everything in the background needs to go quiet. Now, with this lavalier mic, it picks up air. Even though I have a small, you see how I have a small windscreen on it? And this is a windscreen. These are windscreens. We'll talk about all of this stuff. I'm just running down the basics of sound and microphones. So, I have a windscreen on this microphone. It helps with plosives, but it doesn't. So that's why I take the P's, like the plosives away from the microphone. But see what I'm saying? The windscreen helps for the plosives. But anyway, um, we won't have a zero noise floor until I mute or until I turn down the volume signal on this microphone. For everything to go quiet, see what I'm saying? So what you want to do is you want to have a zero noise floor. And the noise floor is that when you're quiet, everything is quiet. Now, you can have a fan on in the background. Your TV could be on or things like that. As I say, it's better to use a dynamic mic so that it'll at least lower the sound, or you'll have a zero noise floor. What a lot of people like to do is they like to use a noise gate to get the excess noise in the background out. I'm using a noise gate. I'm using processing. It's going to be harder to do that with that microphone, so that's why I recommend these microphones right here, which is the Rode Pod mic, and I would recommend this Shure. But I'm telling you, for the purpose of this show, go get the Rode Pod mic. Now, I don't have an affiliate link. These shows are specifically for the Manosphere before I start doing very professional shows in regards to these microphones. These shows, that's why I want you guys to go hit the Cash App that's up in that top. I don't know what corner it is, but you'll see it. It's in the top corner. These shows are specifically for you guys before I really start doing a professional, for everybody show. So I'm gonna have these episodes in a playlist where you guys can most definitely get the game on these microphones. So before I take it to the next level and show cardioid patterns and everything, I'm trying to keep this simple so it's not rocket science. And I wish I had people to do the same for me. But anyway, getting back to these microphones, there's a lot to learn, and I really want to help you guys out with it. It's harder to silence this microphone than it is to silence this one and this one right here. Now, these microphones have a similar cardioid pattern. You could pay $100 or you could pay $400 and then turn around, pay an extra $100 or $150 on top of that if you got that type of money to spend. It's best for you to spend less instead of spend more. Now, I ain't gonna talk about him. He messed up his Shure SM7B. There was a YouTuber that said that Yeti is better than this microphone because he didn't know how to run it. Not everybody knows how to run this microphone. Anyway, let's get that out the film and let's talk about this Rode Pod mic. Now, before we get out of the building, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my boom arm come from the ceiling. Well, not the ceiling, but right in front of me. What I recommend you get with this Rode Pod mic is a pop filter. That way, this blocks the plosives. Now, this Rode Pod mic has an internal pop filter, but if you say your P's a little bit loud, it will come through, which I will demonstrate to you. But you want one of these pop filters, and these stop the plosives. So, what you want to do is you want to take your Rode, which it has both things built in, because usually if you have a really, see how this one is big? Sometimes you have a smaller one, and you will have to get something like this, which is a smaller cable, which is a smaller screw, and you can literally screw it into the top of this, and when you screw it into the top of this, then you can use it to mount from your arm, but this already has one. The cool thing about this Rode Pod mic is that it has one built in. See how it's a little further in? And this microphone is very, 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 very heavy. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure this is pointing upward where it says Pod mic, and you want to start the screw, no homo, and you want to make sure that it's on because this is a very heavy mic. You want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Save it, David. Watch it, partner. You want to watch it, and that should be pretty good. And it's easy. It's adjustable. You don't have to do that much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in because remember, it's a plug and play microphone. So you want to plug it in. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Lord of mercy. Hold on. Okay. So you want to plug it in. Hear that click? You want to plug it in. And you're ready to go. You do want to set your gain. You do want to set your volume. You do want to do what you normally would do, and you do want to straighten your you know what I'm saying. You do want to straighten your pop filter right in front of it because remember, we're speaking into the top of this microphone. Okay, we're speaking into the top of the microphone, and what's cool about broadcasting microphones is that you can sit back and you'll have a different sound, so you can always turn up your volume, and you don't have to be up on the microphone. And then you have something called the proximity effect, where you're up on the microphone. They call it kissing the microphone because you want to be up on it. And these are sound techniques. If you would like more bass in your voice, or the coil to pick up everything, you would like to be up on the microphone, or you would like to have a microphone that has a presence boost. And the Rode has the presence boost. So different microphones have different things to offer. This Rode Pod mic is perfect for whatever you have going on, and is the ultimate mic to get when it comes to you getting into XLR microphones, which I would push for people to get into XLR microphones. But if you don't really know, or you really don't have the budget, I do understand if you get a plug and play, which I like to ease people in because the majority of the people are they don't know. So let's get into it. Let's fire up this pod mic. I'm not gonna I'm gonna do a slight test in front of you, and I'm not going to have any processing on this pod mic. Okay? And it looks like my levels are pretty good. I can probably turn up the gain a little bit on this Rode Pod mic, and it looks like we're at perfect gain. I got my amplifier up to about 40. I got it up to about 40. So I don't have to really do too much with my preamp, even though there's a lot to talk about. So anyway, and I might plug in uh this dynamite into it and see what's going on. Now, one thing that I didn't know, mention is that when you plug in that like a cloud lifter or the dynamite or your FET head, um your dynamic microphone goes from dynamic to condenser, because to power up that preamp, you want to switch over to condenser, because now you have to activate that preamp, which basically just activates your microphone. So anyway, we're gonna take all the processing off this Rode, and we're gonna switch over to it right now. So let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and have it on to unity gain, and let's fire up this Rode Pod mic with no processing. Let's check it out. Now I'm gonna mute this lavalier mic, and we're gonna fire up this Rode. Okay, so now we are speaking. Oh, you probably heard me because I didn't have it on mute. But now we're speaking into the Rode Pod mic, which is a really pretty good mic. Sounds great. Let's take this pop filter off real quick. So now we're speaking into the Rode Pod mic, which is a pretty good mic. I like this mic. This is one of my favorite mics. One of the hardest mics to get a hold on or get a hold of. Now, if I be quiet, let's see if we have zero noise floor. And we have a zero noise floor. This is a dope ass microphone. Get it. $100, get it. And it has a broadcasting sound already with it. Actually, I need to actually let you hear how it will actually sound aside from it having a broadcasting sound. This is how it will sound in regular dynamic. So this is exactly how it will sound in regular dynamic mode. Actually, this thing has, you can actually feel the power. You can actually feel the amps coming through it. It's weird. I never felt that before. I feel like a electric shock when I get close to this microphone. And it's been happening with a lot of my microphones because I have a lot of grilled microphones. Anyway, neither here nor there. I have a problem. Anyway, this is how the microphone will sound when you're up close to it, and this is how it will sound back here. So you kind of want to be up on these microphones, and that's how you will get your sound. Now, when you're speaking on the side of it, do you see how it cancels out my noise? You're speaking on the side of it, you really can't hear too much. But if I get in front of it, you can hear more. But if I get on the side of it, do you see how it cancels out the noise? So what you want to do is you want to cancel out the noise that's going to be coming into the room. So that's why you want to speak on the top of this microphone. And it has a really good top onto it. If you can see on this picture right here, has a really good top onto it. So you can definitely speak into this microphone and have no problems whatsoever. So how you really want to go about getting these microphones is you really want to get the microphone, especially when you get this microphone, you want to get a stand or you want to get a nice boom arm. They got the Rode PSA-1, about $100. You could just buy another Rode Pod mic for the price. That's up to you. But you do got some other industry standard ones. I don't have the game too much on the boom arms, which when we're growing, we'll do that. We'll get the boom arm game. But I actually have a pretty sturdy boom arm that can support at least way more than I guess 2 pounds. This boom arm has no problem holding this microphone because it's used to hold. This boom arm holds a actual shock mount and another microphone, so it's used to holding way more weight. Whereas this Rode Pod mic is just simple. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying? Real good microphone. You definitely want to get it. Now, when I turn on processing, I'm gonna get a different sound out of this microphone, which is gonna be more of a broadcasting sound. And this is everything boosted. Now, do you see the difference? How I have more of a broadcasting sound. There's a lot that you can do with this microphone. And if you see how the sound changed, bingo, perfect. So you don't really have to do that much to get the most out of this microphone. Also, I have a setting. I have a setting for it where I can sound a lot better. And now you get that podcasting sound that a lot of people want to achieve. And you really want that. Work on your sound. It's better to have better sound than video. People will watch a blocky video or a video in low resolution, but what they're not going to do is listen to fucked up audio. Now, what I'm going to do before we get out of the building is I'm going to speak. I'm going to mute one, and I'm going to tap on which one it is. Tell me if you see a sound difference, okay? So, we're talking into the Rode mic right now. And like I said, the plosives, you know, P, podcasting, pizza, podcasting, pizza. See how it, right? With the pop filter, pizza, 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 podcasting, podcasting. You want to have a great mic that can take plosives because at some point you're going to say the word podcast, right? So you don't want your volume to when you say podcast or you use anything with the word p. So this is the sound that we're getting out of a Rode Pod mic with the processing on, and this is not a fair sound comparison, but it's similar. We'll do a mic shootout where you can get that game. Okay. So for $100, this is the sound that you would get with a little bit of processing on a Rode Pod mic. Now, let's switch over to the Shure SM7B. This is the Shure SM7B. Do you see the difference in the sound? Now, this is with a cloud lifter or a dynamite on it, so the audio might be more up front. Now, the SM7B has what's called a warm tone. And the warm tone on the SM7B basically it gives it a slightly different sound, but it's not that different from the Rode Pod mic. Okay? And what we'll do, I'll make an exception. I'll actually plug this dynamite into the Rode Pod mic, and you guys can comment down below what's the difference. Do you think the Rode Pod mic's worth getting, or do you think people should save up and go get this $400 Shure SM7B and then spend another 100 to 150 getting the dynamite or a FET head or a cloud lifter? Still have to turn around, get cables, and then still have to turn around and have a great preamp to run both microphones. I mean, both the damn preamp, the mic, the cable. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot more to it. So there's a couple more steps to run this microphone than it is to run this microphone. Whereas now we're back on the Rode Pod mic. You don't have to spend that much to run both. Now, if I were to take let's say, well, we're not gonna do that. We'll do that on the mic shootout. But basically, what I'm saying is that this mic has a little bit more use when it comes down to what you're trying to do. But if you're trying to podcast, you're not really the singer type. You want to have a great voice. You want to have a commanding voice. What you want to use is you want to use the Rode Pod mic. Now, what I will do before we get out of the building is I will plug this it's probably dumb, but fuck it, we'll try it. I will plug this dynamite into this Rode Pod mic, and let's see if we can get a better, more boosted sound out of it, because basically this is boosting the signal. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go back to the Shure, which is this microphone, and you tell me if you see a difference. Shure, Rode. Hold on. Rode. Shure, Rode. Shure, Rode. I kind of hear a slight difference. And when you and listen, guys, when you guys, and we're on the pod mic right now, when you guys listen to these shows, for the love of God, have on headphones. Okay? I know it's hard. Have on inner ear headphones or a great set of headphones where you can hear the difference. You want to know what you sound like before you sound like it, right? So, Rode, Shure. Rode, Shure. Now, we're talking into both microphones and they're both on. Do you hear the difference? This microphone, you're going to get a little bit more background noise because when the signal is boost, it can heighten or it can lower your noise floor. All depends. Remember, it's boost. But this microphone, this Rode, is super quiet. So, Shure or the Rode Pod mic. Shure. Oh, wait. Pod mic? Sure. You tell me. Okay. So, being that today's show is for the Rode Pod mic, I just wanted to give you a good comparison before you guys made your purchase. And I want you guys to, let me know what you think. Comment down in the comment box, and let me know what you think about both microphones. Would you rather the Rode or would you rather the Shure? But I'm gonna tell you right now, to get your bang for your buck, go get the Pod mic. It's a beautiful microphone. Now, I'm going to switch back to my lavalier microphone while I do this, because this is my first time doing this, and we're going to see what we can do. So you want to go get the Pod mic. Really great microphone. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the condenser mode on this Rode Pod mic, and I'm going to remove this cable here. I've seen one or two people do this, which basically defeats the purpose for this microphone, because what Rode did is they don't want you to have to go through so much hell to basically run your podcast. But I like to see shit explode sometimes. So let's see how this is. So we're going to plug in the dynamite into the Rode Pod mic. And what we're going to do is, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to run it in condenser mode. And let's see if we can boost the signal on it. And I see it's already on. It's not using that much phantom power. Phantom power is down to 18. God damn, this dynamite powerful as shit. All right. And let's see how it sounds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off this lavalier mic, and we're gonna run the Rode with dynamite on it. $200. Still in your budget. Hopefully. You gotta have money to do this shit at some point, by the way. But if you don't, come on now. Let's see. Okay, and wow. So a lot of you guys, you might say that, and I think I'm running a little loud. I see it kind of clipping, but I don't know. But my volume here seems like it's okay. So I'm not gonna be too loud or too long. Now, a lot of you guys will say that the Shure SM7B sounded better. Now check this out. I have, and we're gonna go over that microphone if you're interested. I have what's called a presence boost on that microphone, and that microphone has more of a warm tone, whereas this microphone is slightly different. Now, the reason why that microphone, the Shure, sounded a little bit brighter than this microphone, uh, and it kind of warmed it down, is because of this dynamite that's on it. So condenser mics sound a lot better because it brightens up the voice. But at the same time, if you have a microphone, because we'll talk about sound, that's a little bit more darker, a brightened up, darkened voice is like a louder, darkened voice. You can actually hear the more darkness of the microphone. What it did with this microphone, which I'm telling you guys why you have to have your earphones, it brightened the sound of the microphone. This pod mic sounds really fucking good. This shit sound good as hell, and it's still $200, bro. You did this. You can get this good bright, because it boosts the signal. It brightens up the microphone. This microphone for $100. This is a steal. Same thing with this condenser right here. This King B. This is a steal. Make sure you go down to Sweetwater or whatever. Whenever I get an affiliate link, once I legitimize what I'm doing, we'll get it on and popping. But brothers, make sure you go down there. Make sure you go get this Rode Pod mic. Make sure you find a way. It could be tricky to get this microphone. If you need help, hit me up. I'll figure out a way, and I'll send you a link, and we can get this microphone. Make sure you go down there and you go get it. You know what I'm saying? Or you get it mailed to you at some point. This is a really great microphone. You need it in your mic locker. This will definitely save you time on a lot of different things when it comes down to editing, your sound, and everything. And you might, if you see how my voice is a little bit brighter, which is the Shure was a little bit brighter too. When I do the shootout, we're gonna hear how the Shure sounds without this without this boost on it, and we're gonna hear how the pod mic sounds without this boost when I do the microphone shootouts, and you guys could be the judge of that. But this Rode sounds a lot better with with the boost on it, which is an added plus. Yeah, and what they're doing now in the microphone game is that they have boosts with like different sounds to it. So a lot of the different a lot of different you know mini preamps that you'll get, they don't all sound the same. But this is a clean, good boost. Let's see if I'm quiet. Any noise floor? No noise floor. That was today's show, man. It's Player Talk Radio. Thank you guys. I would like to thank you guys for giving me an hour of your time to rant about microphones. Make sure when you get the chance, you go pick up the Rode Pod mic. It's DJ Kuda. Let's get it. We out.